And today I'd like to welcome Frank Furness to our Adrenaline Shot. Frank is an internationally sought after sales and technology speaker and a social media presenter. And I'm testament to his lively, enthusiastic and humorous style, which has inspired audiences all around the world. Frank currently spends 70% of his time speaking internationally, working in 58 countries. But today I'm lucky enough to catch him back in London. And I realised, Frank, that you're actually in my old hometown of Watford. So that's where I grew up.
Oh, wow. And I was in your hometown just recently, or your home country, about a month ago.
So world travellers all over. Now, in 2007, Frank, you were awarded top speaker for Vistage Europe, which is the world's largest CEO organisation. And in 2011, you were inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame. I understand you've got 22 websites in part of your marketing business, and you're an avid supporter of video marketing and have been for many years. So we're really interested to hear about that. Your books, Walking with Tigers, Success Secrets of the World's Top Business Leaders, and How to Find New Business and Clients are both international bestsellers. So Frank, I'd really like to welcome you here today to our Adrenaline Shot. And you specialise, of course, in helping companies globally with their digital strategy. So I'm interested to know, to start off with, what should businesses take into account when developing their digital strategy?
Now, it's really interesting. Most companies are really successful for what they've done in the past, and the digital and the social media complements what they're doing. What they've got to think about is, you know, everybody's saying you've got to be on every social media channel. No, you don't have to. You've got to be where your clients are hanging out. So the biggest thing you've got to find out is, where do your clients hang out? If you're in a B2C kind of business, they might be hanging out on Facebook and Instagram. If you're in a B2B kind of business, it might be YouTube and LinkedIn. And don't guess. Just ask them. Just say, listen, we're doing a marketing campaign. Where do you actually hang out? What do you want from me? How often do you want the posts? So find out where they hang out, and then you can actually put your whole campaign towards what they are looking for.
Because it's so easy to be fractured, isn't it, with social media? You know, there's so many different places that we can post things. And I know I've got caught up a little bit in spending a lot of time on social media. How much time would you recommend that people actually spend on social media?
I reckon about an hour and a half a day, because this is the new marketing. In the old days, we used to have full-time marketing people. Now I work with great companies in Australia. Some of them, one of the best law firms out there, Shine Lawyers, have 3 full-time people working on it. You know, so wow. The big companies and the smaller companies now realize this is a full-time position.
Mm-hmm. So what are your favorite social media channels?
Okay, so I still love Facebook, but that's contacting all of my friends and those kind of people. But I also use it for advertising, because it is the best advertising channel right now. LinkedIn, I use a lot of LinkedIn. And I suppose my favorites is, I always say to people, you've got to be part of the Google family. So YouTube is my number one. I've got 700 videos on YouTube. I love it. I'm passionate about it. And then I use a thing that most people ignore, which is Google+. I also use Blogger, which is part of the Google family. So whatever I do, I think about, how do I get to the top of the search engines? All I do is, how do I become part of the Google family? I use Blogger, I use YouTube, and I promote it with Google+. And within minutes, I'm on the first page of Google. If anybody watching this just has to type into their computer, no matter where you are in the world, type in a search for sales technology speaker. That's how I like to be found. And you'll actually see, by using all of the social media channels, how it helps you with search engine optimization. So a lot of those are my favorites. And I'm getting more and more into the sort of pictorial things right now, the Instagram, which is fantastic. And that's for the younger generation.
Yeah. And do you use Pinterest at all?
I do, when I'm targeting the ladies, because Pinterest is very much a woman's kind of channel. So anything I'm selling towards that kind of channel, it's fantastic for people to connect there.
And I'm just going to take you back there for a second. So you spoke about Facebook being the best for advertisements. How do you use that? What are you finding works there?
Well, what I do is, depending on the kind of products I'm selling, what I can actually do is say, who's my target market? What does my ideal buyer look like over here? Or I can even go to my contact base and see what my average buyer is. I can then go to Facebook and say, I want you to find exactly this kind of person, and then put this ad in front of them. So my ads are actually going in front of a targeted audience. I'm not spray painting all over the place. And when I was in Australia a little while ago, I met some fantastic people that are using Facebook advertising, a lady called Emily Sky, and they're making an absolute fortune because they know who their target market is, they know how many posts to put out there, and they're just doing brilliantly.
Okay, that sounds really good. So let's go back to, let's say, YouTube for starters. You've got a lot of videos out there. Why? What's the future of video? I mean, everyone talks about it, but where's it going?
The future of video is absolutely huge. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, and people do three kinds of searches. They either do a Google search, visuals like me, I go straight in and I do a YouTube search, or B2B people will do a LinkedIn search. So video is massive. And I mean, Facebook has realized this now. We've seen the growth of Facebook. And the biggest growth in the last year has been on actual live streaming video. Where you can go in, you can do something live on Facebook and say, here I am at the event, here's my products, here's all of the things that I'm doing. You can do the same thing with Periscope, and you can do the same thing with YouTube Live. And for search engine optimization, they are amazing.
And I guess that brings us to websites. You know, what are the important things that people need to think about when they're getting a website built?
Well, very, very important is that whole user experience. You know, if your website's older than 6 or 7 years, you've really got to do something about it because everything has changed. The whole new visual aspect has come on. If I go onto a website now and it's either slow or there's no user experience, I just go out of there because that's really the shop window of that company. And if they haven't bothered to do anything about it, I don't really want to do business with them. Got to have video.
You can hear the timer going off in the background. I told you 5 minutes goes really fast.
Okay, great.
Would it be okay with you, Frank, if we, I'm just going to stop that so that it stops driving us both mad. Would it be okay with you if I had you back again sometime? Because I feel like we're just getting into some of the really interesting stuff that people would love to hear about, particularly around websites, because it is one of the hardest things, isn't it, these days?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to come back again, Dawn.
All right. Well, let's do that. I'll finish our video here. Thank you so much for your time today, Frank. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Dawn.
Thank you.